for the future. And let's see what it is. I'd like to know, so it's 9:03. I like to make sure we're not starting too late. So we're going to start on our backs and we're going to use our straps today. So have those ready. Have everything nearby. Maybe if you're not very warm yet, keep your layers on. I'm going to keep my sweatshirt on for a little bit until I'm warmed up. But you want to just be, make sure everything, let's see, I'm recording. Make sure my audio's up. Yes. And then, okay, I think we're ready. So eyes are closed. You know, actually they don't even have to be, right? But I want you to be in a position that you are comfortable. So we do want to be in our Savasana or corpse pose, but you don't have to have your eyes closed. But what happens sometimes when our eyes are open and we're looking at things and our brain is on that, so closing your eyes does allow you to take your focus a little bit more inward. And we also need to focus on our breathing now. So whatever you've been doing all morning, you're just breathing, going along, not thinking about it. Now we're going to think about it, we're going to be aware of it, and we're going to use it to help our yoga practice be at the best level that it can. I don't mean best as far as advanced moves or anything like that, but so that you get the most out of it. So take a nice slow breath in through the nose, maybe count as you do that. And then exhale, and I want you to try to exhale at that same count. And I just need to turn my music down, it's a little too loud. But you are focused on breathing. Can I go quieter? Nope. That's the quietest I can go. Okay. So again, allow that breath to start opening you up, feeling the chest rise up, feeling the ribs expanding, feel your lungs expanding. So they don't just move frontward, right? We want to fill them up the whole way. And then we're going to eventually get to the belly breathing. It should not feel forced. Don't push your belly out, but feel it move out as the breath comes all the way in. And those exhalations will help you get a little more comfortable, even if you need to move and wiggle just to get in that perfect position, even though we're not going to be here for too long. And you guys have been doing this for such a long time. If you're with me right now, you know how to get into all these positions a little bit quicker, or the body can respond a little more quickly, right? All right, so breath is even, it's slow. Trying to inhale, exhale through the nose. Don't try to match my breathing or even my movements, because you want to listen to your body and your breath and move from there. We're going to do about 3 more here before we get out of our corpse pose. Try to return to this breath when you can throughout your practice today. Definitely harder to do when you're also moving in and out of poses, holding poses, all of that. But this would be the ideal breath pattern as we're actually moving. So we're going to go ahead and just slowly bend the knees, and we're going to lift those hips up and just move them down a little bit. Feel that back get a little bit longer, toes are pointing ahead. Open those shoulders, lengthen your neck. Again, we know how this should feel. All the while, we want to stay focused on our breathing. All the way into the belly, all those exhalations, just keeping us relaxed. Maybe letting go of any other tension that you could be feeling anywhere. All right. One more breath here. All right, next inhale, let's take the arms over the head. And exhale, we're going to pull that right knee into the chest. As you pull it in, you're going to feel the lower back pressing into the mat a little bit. Now when we inhale again, we put the foot down, the back goes back into that natural curve. So don't feel like you have to press it down into the mat. Exhale, other knee in. And inhale, reach overhead. Whoop, I always seem to have something in the way. And again, inhale, reach overhead, exhale, right knee. So just alternate those knees at your own pace now. Continue to work. Get that stretch as deep as you can, as long as you can each time. So we want to stretch all the way to the fingertips, but you're going to feel it down the arms, into the shoulders, the sides of the body. So again, alternating one knee at a time. Just start to let those hamstrings wake up a bit. All right, we're going to keep going. A couple more on each side. We're going to really give it some time here. I've had a super tight hip lately. I don't know what is going on. I was standing all weekend over my kitchen counter doing Halloween, Thanksgiving preparations. I think I was standing weird or something, and so I've got this really tight knot here. So if you see me come out of certain moves today or whatever, you're gonna know that it's probably just I need to baby that hip a little bit. I swear my hips are my Achilles heel for sure, aren't they? Okay, right and left, last time. Now, before we go deeper into that right leg, take the arms over the head, bring them back down alongside. Now just keep the feet apart like this. Move your arms out a little bit. We're gonna easy twist right and left. Knees not together, right? So we know this one hits our hips a little bit differently. So if you've got some room, inhale first, exhale, let the knees go right. You can see my knees are not together at all. But you feel how that is on the outside of whatever hip you've got on top. And the inside of the bottom leg. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, go the other way. Make sure, again, this is a good way when we start moving side to side to make sure you do have adequate room around you. Sometimes I get a little too close to the wall. And inhale, knees up. Exhale the other way. And inhale, knees up. Oh, I just love this one. I do this actually now before I get out of bed in the morning, if I can be awake enough to remember that. But I've been doing this whole little series of stretches as I get out of bed, and man, what a difference. Okay, inhale up, other way. And then come back to the middle. Make sure once again that you're in that bent knees pose. Take a breath in and out. Next, inhale, bring the arms over the head. Exhale, right knee in. Now we're going to stay here longer this time. So take the hands, again, somewhere that's comfortable here. And then we're going to extend the foot up. We're going to flex and point. Circle the ankle. Both ways. All right. Extend just a little bit. Check it out. How does it feel? Of course, we keep our hips on the mat here. After you've done that a couple of times, bend the knee again and just move the hip around, kind of loosening up in the hip joint. And we're going to go into the strap work next, so you want to have that nearby. But first of all, again, we're circling it in and out, or around a few times. And I always try to say go more rather than less. Don't do 3 or 4. I mean, that's adequate, right? But if you do 8 to 10, so much better. All right, good. So now that hip has just gotten a little bit mobile, right? Go ahead and take your strap and bring it under the foot. You can have a closed loop if you prefer that. Under the ball of the foot as opposed to the arch. And again, make sure the hips stay even with each other. stretch that leg up. Just see how it feels on its own. Now a little bit more purposeful, take a breath in. Think of the heel pushing out a little bit more. Just feel how that feels a little bit longer. And then the exhale, use the strap to pull the leg in. Now I like to open my elbows away from me so I have more room here. If you pull in this way, you, again, can be a little bit limited. It feels a little bit tight and crowded in here. And then the other thing is don't ever pull so hard that you're working out the arms. We're not trying to do that. And don't wrap this around the hands too tight. I like to hold it kind of loosely in my hands. So you're going to continue the breathing and stretching. Inhale, extend, exhale, pulling it in. And you can go as far as you want as long as you don't let that right hip come up off the mat. You're going to get to a point that's going to be kind of challenging to stay there, but just breathe through it. Your knee can be bent, your leg can be straight, just don't lock that knee tight. All right, so when you've kind of gotten to that maximum, let's stay there a little bit longer. And then stretch out the bottom leg. It's my left leg. You could be on the other leg, I don't know. And we're going to try to keep that maximum hamstring stretch right here. I swear, I still think that this little sequence with the strap is just one of my all-time favorite things. All right, so we've got both legs extended. Wherever your right leg is fine. Again, it should be a little bit challenging though, but not painful. When your body gives you that warning, like, no more, listen to it. So keeping the legs extended, we want to try to keep our hips where they are. So we're going to open out and in a few times before we go into our deeper groin, inner thigh stretch. So take a breath in. On the exhale, open that leg a little bit. See how it feels, like we're testing the waters. We're going to inhale, bring it back. Now you're going to keep the left hand on top of the left hip just to keep things, or to keep the hip down. If you start to kind of roll the whole pelvis with the leg, that's not what we want to do here. So again, work at your own pace. On the exhale, maybe go further. Bring it up on the inhale. And let's just keep going, a few more. And then you might eventually get to the point where you feel like you can hold that leg out in that inner thigh stretch. Notice that I don't let my foot change the angle. I still keep the whole ball of my foot pressing evenly into that strap. And then I, again, just kind of checking in with that left hip, opposite hip. So you can imagine if you were standing on that left foot, how this would feel. You can feel so much weight going away over to the right side, right? So that's why pull the abdominals in. Think about that posture, even while you're here, not standing up, but what would you have to do to maintain this if you were standing? You'd have to pull in tight, and also feel tall, like if you were upright, like something's pulling the crown of the head up. We're going to stay here one more breath. And then as you inhale, carefully bring that leg up. Hold it here, exhale. I'm going to scoot over a tiny bit. Inhale, let that leg start to go across. I'm sorry, on the exhale, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, going a little further. Now this time we're using the opposite hand on the strap. My right arm, or the same arm as leg, is open out to the side of me. Go a little further. So again, we're doing this in little bits here, right? And then when you're ready, you're going to go deeper and you're going to stay in that stretch. Now, you can bend the knee here if that makes it more comfortable. You can have the elevation or the wherever the leg is in relation to the body go lower or higher. Again, this is you got some time to play around with it and really get the best stretch for you, whatever that might be. Ooh, intense. And then inhale, bring the leg back up. All right, back into your hamstring stretch. Now, stay right here. Or maybe, I don't know why I'm not in the right spot here. Bring your upper body up. Now, I like to think of my heart as coming up and pulling that leg in and bringing my head towards the leg. And then lower it back down. We're going to move this off for a moment. Bring both knees into the chest and roll a little bit. All right, starting all over again. Come to that bent knees position because we do want to make sure that everything's aligned when we start. Arms up. Big inhale, exhale, left knee in. Now we're going to keep that leg in for a little bit. We're going to warm it up and then we're going to grab our strap. Start out by just pulling the knee toward the chest. And then extend the leg up. Flex and point. And take some time with that foot. Foot moving, feel the ankle moving, circling the foot again a few times one way and then the other. Extending the leg just a little bit. So this is kind of what you can do with really no warm up for the hip itself, right? And then let the knee bend, move the knee around. Let's get that hip moving a little bit. Go both ways. All right. And then we're going to extend the leg back up and extend the the right leg out. So now we've got both legs long. We're just going to see how that feels. All right, getting the strap in place. I think I jumped ahead. I think we need to have the knee bent while we first get that strap under the foot. A little bit more accurate way to make sure the hips are lined up. So strap under the left foot. Right knee bend. So same thing. Extend that leg up. Take some time getting into your hamstring stretch. So inhale, press the heel out. Exhale, pull the leg in. Again, taking a little time to get deeper into the hamstring stretch. Keeping this knee bent for now really does let that lower back have a little bit more support. Now, when you get to, again, what you feel is your maximum, try to not have the shoulders kind of tensing up around the ears here. Wherever you're pulling, whatever angle you're pulling, try to keep the shoulders down as if you were standing up, right? So we get into that maximum stretch. We're going to stay there. And then when you're feeling pretty good with it, you let the right leg stretch all the way out. Same thing. And again, it may take a moment for that leg to feel comfortable, extended, especially if you've got tight hip flexors here. The left leg up, right leg down. Same thing. Imagine if you were standing on it. What would that feel like? All right. So when we're be here. Let's be here 3 more, and then we'll go that inner thigh and then outer thigh. So you're going to use whichever leg is elevated. You're going to keep that hand on the strap. Take the other hand and press in front of that hip joint, just in case you do have that tendency to roll off. I have that tendency to roll off. So inhale. On the exhale, we open just a little bit. On the inhale, we bring it back up. On the exhale, we open a little more. So just taking your time. I can never orient myself. Inhale, bring it back up. Taking some time to get into that inner thigh stretch, right? We don't need to get out there immediately. Couple more. All right, and opening it all the way out. Again, like I said, I kind of got a wall here. I use it. I don't consider it cheating. I consider it helping, actually. If you have a hard time holding that leg out there, it starts to feel heavy. It's kind of nice to set yourself up and take advantage of the wall, but you could also be completely here without resting it on the wall. Still keep that hip down, don't let it tip open. Next, inhale, bring the leg up. As we do, we change hands quickly. It goes across. And you can do it in stages, or you can go deeply into it right away. It's up to you. Again, feel free to bend the knee if you like. Inhale, bring it back up. So we're in our hamstring stretch again. The next option, you can stay right here or bring the upper body up, bringing the head and chest in toward that leg. And slowly come back out of it. That's what I have to tell you guys this. So yesterday I was at the Y teaching a class, my only class, my Zumba Gold class in the morning, and then I go into the stretch room afterwards sometimes, and there was a woman there, and she was, I'm just guessing she was older than me. I could be wrong. However, she was so incredibly flexible. She was on this machine where you normally just have one leg, like we just did, do a hamstring stretch. She was in her, we'll call this our, what is this, our thread the needle. And she had the machine, I swear, pulling her leg all the way up. This one stayed bent. It was almost directly over her body, like incredibly flexible. I've never been that flexible in my entire life. But I think if you do feel like you've got some parts of your body that are more flexible and you can do things more easily, keep doing them every day if possible, because you lose your flexibility so quickly. All right, moving on. Bring both knees in, roll the back a little bit. Now, whenever we take some time, whenever I take the time to do that whole thing, it takes up a big part of our hour. So we're gonna get a little bit, we're gonna get into our flowing a little bit faster than we normally do. Not that we're gonna move fast, but we're not gonna do too much more warm up. I want you to rock yourself either side to side and roll up that way, or do a little rock roll here and come on up. And come on your hands and knees right away. Spread the I'm gonna take this off. Spread the fingers apart. Shoulders are lined up over the hips. No, they aren't. Now they are. Shoulders are over the hands. Hips are over the knees. What am I talking about? So all fours position. We want to get comfortable here. Keep the arms long. Soften the elbows. Now pull the shoulders away from the ears. Have some energy going through that all fours position. Inhale, feel the belly expanding. On the exhale, don't arch yet, but pull that belly in, contract it in. Inhale, extend, easy cow pose. Little bit of a tilt here in the chest and tailbone. Exhale, easy cat pose. You don't have to go all the way in, but pull the belly in, let the head drop. Arching a little bit. Inhale, lengthen more, cow pose. Lift your heart. Exhale, arch. We're getting more length and more stretch in those two poses every time we do them. A couple more. Two more. All right, after arching and cat pose, I want you to inhale, come back to your all fours position just a few times to work the core, work on our balance. Opposite arm and leg lift. So one arm, opposite leg. Lift up as you inhale. Lower them as you exhale. Other arm and leg. Lift up, inhale. and lower. Exhale. I want you to be more concerned or thinking more about extending the arm and leg long. Then lifting it high. We don't want to go higher than the shoulder and the hip. Let's do one more on each arm and leg. All right, hands and knees, stay here. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Keep these hands right here under the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. So we're not going long. Shorter dog. Stretch up and back. Press out of the hands. Lengthen through the back. Shift the hips gently from one side to the other. Feel that more in one hip or more under one shoulder, around the upper back, and then deeply bend the knee as the other heel goes down. Do a few of those. Couple more. Gently move the head. Feel like a little circle one way. You can be very gentle with this one. So by moving the head, loosen up that neck a little bit, but then also you really notice the difference when you just let the head hang. All right, walk those hands back to the feet. So you're going to be at the back edge of the mat. See where you can get the hands in relation to the feet. Can you kind of grab the big toes? Can you grab behind the ankles? Maybe you want to just have your hands on the mat. If you are stretching without hands on the mat, be careful, be aware of your balance. If you've got the hands on the mat, you can even shift your hips forward and back a little bit, and even side to side to work out any little kinks that might enhance your forward bend here. Now we're going to come up for just a moment. We're going to come upright, roll the shoulders up and back, and get tall. Open that chest. Bring your arms alongside, get a mountain pose. Circle the hands a couple times. Now we're going to go into our flow in just a minute. We're going to push it just a little bit today. But we're going to start back here at the back of the mat. Roll the shoulders up and back. Next, inhale, bring the arms out and up. Bring your hands to your heart and follow them slowly into your forward bend. Bring them to the mat. Allow the head to completely hang here. Again, use those exhalations to hang further and deeper. Inhale, lift halfway. Extend the spine forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, roll it back up. Your head is heavy. You don't look forward until the shoulders are over the hips. Eyes are forward, hands together over the heart. Back to mountain pose. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, rolling down to our forward bend again. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Roll it back up. Hand to the heart. Back to mountain pose. Moving out of this next time. Inhale. Forward bend. Now you can roll down or dive forward if you're ready for that. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Hands to the mat. Slowly walk all the way out to your plank. Inhale as you get there. Drop the knees if you want to modify. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Arms stay forward. Glue those hands. Press them firmly into your mat. Come to downward dog. 3 breaths here. This is your regular downward dog, right? Like now we have a lot more distance between the hands and the feet. Walk to the front of your mat. This time forward bend up here. Round it over. Roll it up. Arms out and up, hands to the heart, back to mountain pose. Okay, so we're gonna go from standing through the plank flow a couple times, and then we're gonna get into some warrior work from there. So if you don't wanna do that exactly this way I'm gonna do it, feel free to approach it from an upright position, or you can just step back. Okay, here we go. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend, however you choose to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend, hands to the mat, plank inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Really stretch it out when you're here. Like a little mini rest, right? Downward dog. 3 breaths. Come back to the top of your mat, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rolling up or extended back. Arms up and over, hand to the heart. Back to mountain pose. All right, moving on this time, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Step into your plank. Inhale as you arrive, exhale, lower. Cobra. Child pose briefly. And downward dog. All right, whenever you're ready, step that right foot through. Come up to warrior one. Front foot and knee aligned, back foot slightly angled. Make sure your feet are apart on this one. They're on the railroad tracks. Hips are facing forward. Shoulders down. Take a breath in, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, in those cactus arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale into warrior two. Again, we're kind of doing a lot, or we're not staying too long in each part of the series today. Look at that front and back foot. Turn the head this way, body facing sideways. Inhale, reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Don't just hold the arms out here. Energize, reach through those fingertips. Side angle pose, extend it up. Maybe you want to extend it over. Try to open that chest to the side of your mat. Now bring this arm behind you. Fingertips are going to reach around and try to tuck into that hip crease. We want to use this to open that shoulder as much as we can, and we're going to look up beyond it. Whoa! And then we'll come out of it by reaching the arm up first. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, turn to warrior one. Cactus arms again. Inhale, reach up. Lift that back heel, come into your high lunge. Find your balance. Take a breath in. Stay here, exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, rotate right. Left arm reaches around in front. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back, but rotate right in the middle here. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, that downward dog. Step back. Now, if you want to stay in that downward dog, you want to rest quickly. I got to turn over quickly to the other side. But we're in our resting pose. And then we're going to come to our downward dog pretty quickly here. 3 breaths. All right, left foot comes through. Come up to warrior one on the left. Make sure those shoulders are down as you lift the heart. Take a breath in. and exhale. Inhale, fingertips reach. Exhale, cactus arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades tight. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open warrior two. Open it up. Turn that body again. Never hurts to take a quick look at the feet. Sometimes we think we're in the right spot and you look and you're like, oop, I need to make a little adjustment. Reverse warrior, left arm up. Back to warrior two. Side angle pose. Start out leaning in, right arm up, or maybe angle forward. Open it up. Half bind, right hand comes behind, reaching for that left hip. Open the shoulder, look up beyond that right shoulder. Extend the right arm back up. Back to warrior two. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, turn back to warrior one again. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Stay there, exhale. Inhale, bring that right heel up, come to your high lunge. Stay right here, find your balance. Inhale, exhale. Inhale again, exhale, twist to the left. Right arm reaches around in front, left hand to the back. Inhale, back up. Exhale all the way down to downward dog, step back. You can stay here, or you can go through the plank series, or you can go to child's pose. I'm going to stay here. All right. See how we're doing here. Okay, before we get back down to the mat, I do want to come back. Let's come back to the top of the mat. Come back to our forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, roll it back up. Hand to the heart. And back to mountain pose. All right. I want to do a couple more things standing before we start making our way back down. So if you use blocks for warrior three, balancing warrior, we're going to go ahead and grab those. You don't necessarily have to try to balance with the hands off the blocks, but we do. Let's go ahead and set it up today. We've warmed up the hips quite a bit. Let's see how that goes for us today. So remember, you've got the three heights here. You might need the highest, middle, or lowest, but remember the important thing is that we still, even though we rely on the blocks for a little extra height, you still have to have the rest of the body in that perfect alignment. So make sure the hips aren't too far back. Then how hard is it to lift that leg behind me, right? I want to have my hips and heels lined up, my back completely straight, my belly tight before I bring the leg up. But we need to approach it from an upright position. Not getting into it here, but you guys know we're going to flow into it. So take a full breath here. Take a couple. Next, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, dive into your forward bend. Keep that body long. Lead with your heart. I'm going to scoot out a little bit. Inhale, lift halfway. So again, make sure you've got that perfect alignment. Strong upper body, really tight through the middle. Take one leg up. Don't change the hip. Toes are pointing down. Now energize. Push that foot away. Keep your heart lifted. Slowly bring the leg back down. You don't immediately bring the other one up because we want to check the body, make sure it's still in place. I've decided that higher blocks are going to work better today. Other leg up, same thing. Whoa, whoa. I turned to look sideways. What I was going to demo to you is if you feel this foot moving to the side at all, you're opening the hip, but you always want the heel pressing straight back, toes pointing down, and then lift the chest up. We want to try to have the leg and the torso about the same height. And lower it back down. Let's round it over completely into that forward bend. And then we'll roll it back up. Okay, now, just for fun, we're gonna do it one more time. You can do it exactly the way that we did it. Forward bend, halfway lift, one leg and then the other. Or if you want to try approaching it from an upright position, it's almost like one of those like little birds that as it goes forward in the front, the back side has to come up higher. So what you're going to do is you're going to start, let's start in mountain pose. Get the arms up, inhale, pull the belly in tight. Now, I'm going to bring my arms out. I'm going to start to bring one foot up. I'm going to start to reach my hands down. My upper body goes forward as my leg comes up. Now, if you kind of collapse and tumble into the blocks, that's fine. If you even find a little bit of a balance point, stay there. Coming back up, you have to pull tighter. Start bringing the body up as the leg comes back down. We're going to do the other side. If you're doing it the other way, that's fine. You've got time to do both legs. The same thing. Take the arms up. You're tall, you're strong, you're tight. As this foot comes up behind, the body moves forward. Again, bring the hands toward the blocks. Same thing, as I come out of it, I need to lift the chest. Bring the leg down. Just for funsies today, we're not going to stay there long. We're going to make our way back down. Again, have your blocks at about the middle of your mat before you get down there. So come to mountain pose first. Inhale, bring the arms up. Dive over. Inhale, halfway lift last time here. Extend that heart forward. Exhale, forward bend. Step into your plank. Go through the same series we've worked on. Come all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Now you can either come into your kneeling lunges, just from here coming up onto hands and knees, or you can still go to downward dog and approach it from here. I'm just going to do this today because I feel like I need to work my hips through those positions. So whenever you're ready, step one foot forward, bring the other knee back, come to your kneeling lunge. Remember, we don't want to have a 90 here. We want this foot a little more forward. Hips are moving forward. So I still pretty much have the front knee and foot lined up. But on the back side, the back leg, my hip is definitely more forward than, it's not over the knee. Now hands on those blocks. Sit up nice and tall. Push the hips forward, lift the chest. Bring the arms up. If that throws you off, try the hands on the legs, try the hands staying here. But we're going to stretch whichever knee is in front. Take that same hand down to your block. Opposite hand, inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, stretch over. Oh, doesn't that feel great? A couple more breaths here. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, go the other way. And come back up. Now, before we switch to the other leg, we're going to do one more thing. Bring the hips back over that knee. Lift the toe and the ball of the foot. They're only on the heel of that front foot. You might need the blocks or not. Ease forward into a forward bend. So we call this a half split. Now inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, try to lay your chest on that leg. Imagine it in your mind, even if you're like, yeah, I'm never going to even be close to that. I want you to imagine it. Now, slowly bring the forward foot back. You can start it from all fours or join me again in downward dog. Whenever you're ready, other foot forward. Get everything set up. Start out with the hips over the knee, then move the hips forward. But keep an eye on that forward knee. We don't want it going too far, right? Arms up, shoulders down. Make sure the blocks are close enough that you can use them. Take a breath in. Whichever knee's in front, take that hand down to your block. Reach the other fingertips up higher as you inhale. Exhale, stretch it over to that side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, stretch away. So as you stretch away, make sure this knee's not dropping out. We're still keeping that body long and stretching away. And come back up, both hands on the blocks now, moving the hips back so they line up over that back knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, move forward. So again, feel free to use blocks if they help you. All right, 2 more breaths here. Now bring the knee back next to the other one. They're not touching. You can tuck the toes under or not. Bring the shoulders up over the hips. Bring your hands around to the lower back. Go down to the back of the hips. You can feel the pelvis here. Pull your elbows toward each other. Press the hips forward a little bit. Lift your heart. All right, ease out of that. We're going to come down, stretch both legs in front of us. Make sure your hips feel like they're evenly under you. Take the arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward bend, reach for the feet. Now, when you make any kind of contact, whether your hands are on the floor or the feet, when you inhale, lengthen the back. Lift your heart forward again. Exhale, move forward. So you know, we don't want to have our chest back here. We want to have our chest moving forward. And then think of your whole upper body laying on the front of the legs here. Slowly come up out of that. Roll on down to your back, however you want to get there. I'm going to keep a block nearby. We are going to do an elevated bridge today. So, but we'll start out, once again, knees into the chest. Just massage your lower back a little bit. All right, bring both feet up. Flex and point them either together, work them opposite, whatever you want to do. All right, we're going to start all over with our knees bent, arms on the mat. Take a breath or two. Now next, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, let's pull the right knee in again. Start here with the right leg in. As soon as you're comfortable there, I want you to stretch your left leg all the way out. All right, now extend the right leg up. See how that feels with both legs extended. Hands can be anywhere on this leg. I do like to take mine lower than the knee though, and I'll tell you why. If I have them back here, I have a tendency to not go quite as deep. If I take, or into as deep of a stretch, I'll say, if I take my hands to my calf or even lower, I am able to pull that leg in a little bit further. So both legs are long. Now inhale and bend the right knee. Exhale, twist, pull it across. And at the same time, that right shoulder, we're going to try to keep it on the mat and extend that right arm away from you. Look that way if you can. If not, eyes can just be up. All right, now slowly come onto the back. right foot across the left knee, thread the needle. Here's your option 1, here's your option 2. All right, now uncross. Start all over again with the knees bent, feet on the mat. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, left knee in. As soon as you can, extend the other leg out. And then extending that top leg, mine is my left leg, you could be on the other one. Hands wherever you got the best stretch. All right, take a breath in, bend the left knee, open the left arm. On the exhale, twist, pull the knee across. All right, as you come out of it, left foot on that right knee, bottom leg up. Check the time. Oops, we're almost out of time. All right. Now, uncross the legs. Roll the back. I want you to bring your feet down to the mat, and I want you to grab your block and bring it under, not really our back, right? It's a little bit, like back of the pelvis sounds like so, I don't know, sounds weird to me, but it's kind of like right below the lower back. We have a lot of bones that are connecting. We want to support that, and what I want you to start with is just move the legs out, so at wider than you would normally have the bent knees pose, right? Take them out, let the inner thighs kind of drop open, and then you might even adjust that block a little bit, because what it should feel like is that your torso is supported, your hips are supported, but by having them off the ground, we're able to kind of work into some areas that might be tight. So for me, again, inner thigh, I can stay here, I can open the legs out, let the kind of toes drop open. The other one that's good here, this is a hard one for you, this is hard for me, is butterfly pose. So feet together, knees open. And I just feel that I'm able to kind of get a little bit more rotation here. So you can do whatever you want with the arm. We're only going to be here a few breaths. You can stay in a bridge pose. You can have the knees bent, feet in a regular position, anything goes here. And don't hesitate to keep moving that around until you find the perfect spot for you. Arms are away from the body. Again, we're just kind of focusing on areas that might always be tight for us. And use our breathing to get a little more comfortable here. Let go a little bit of that tension if you can. It's a good one to do anytime. You don't have to go through a whole yoga routine. You can get on the floor, put that block under your backside, your hips, and just see if it helps with some tight areas. Now, to take it out, make sure you've got your feet on the mat, so you can lift the hips higher, move it out of the way. Now we're going to come into Happy Baby. So once that back is comfortable against the mat again, take the hands to one hand per foot. Any kind of Happy Baby that suits you. You can also have the hands behind the knees. Anything goes, right? You can be completely in one place. You can activate that more by moving around. This is our last real pose before we get into Savasana. So enjoy this. All right. When we come out of it, bring your feet down first. Stretch your legs all the way out. And then bring those arms overhead. And as you get there, you're going to inhale and get longer. Exhale, let it all relax. Inhale, stretch fingers to toes. On the exhale, relax again. One more time. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, bring those arms lower. Now we're going to bring them kind of outside the body and open the legs up a bit. Close your eyes and just take a breath in and out. Start to notice if you're ready to relax. On that next inhale, start to scan through the body. Notice any little areas that might seem like they've still got some tension in them. Maybe your mind's starting to race a little bit. Let it go. You don't need it for the next couple minutes, I promise. So again, inhale, exhale. Every exhale, just letting yourself feel heavier into the mat. Letting your body relax into the mat. This is your time. Doesn't matter what else is happening the rest of the day. Give yourself a couple minutes to just focus on breathing, relax. Well, then I can see you might be packing it up. If so, that's fine. Have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to be here another minute or so on our backs, just resting. Stay on your back as long as you like. If you are ready to make your way back, you want to start with just some little movements in the toes and the fingers, just really small, very slow. And then gradually, when you feel the body starting to react to that, you can move the hands and feet, make the movements a little bigger. And then from there, we're going to make our way up slowly. Find a position that you'd like to finish in. I'm going to say namaste. I'm going to come over to you. I feel like I'm 100 years old, getting up off the mat.